All the stuff. Stuff we're not open.
I need some. What's some of the stuff there?
Oh, did I really do that? Ah, I'm so mad.
Girl, that been closed. Sure you need money in, anyway.
This also depends on the title company, so if for any reason the title company didn't get the check to us, and during transmittal. So every month at the beginning of the next month, Rochelle, who does the commission checks, is closing out our books for the month.
Right.
And so sometimes, but she tries to process all the checks she can, even like a day after the end of the month if she can. So you can always ask her if they received the commission check from title. Because on occasion, sometimes it's the title company that has not gotten it to us. Look at us, we have 10 minutes to go. I don't know what to do with myself. Don't know.
I don't know if they.
You want me to do a little post and on group meeting, make sure everybody's gonna be with us this morning?
All your documents are submitted, so you're good to go, it's just figuring out. Do you know how to text Michelle? It shows it was revised on the. So maybe it has.
Is it for the?
From big to those.
Your closed is permitted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, you need to get in.
or pool.
See what I want.
Like that it's gonna be cooler today.
Gorgeous this morning.
Oh, I know, it looked like it on the way of driving here, because I come south east of here on the Missouri side. It was really cloudy.
Yeah.
Looked like rain, but we could use rain always from the summer. But not too bad. I mean, we've had enough rain and cool downtown. We haven't had an extended like heat wave. We've had some heat. Oh, I gotta get busy. Last year, this time I was canning, salsa.
But I need more to make. I had last night, I told all my first homegrown cantaloupes. It was on the virus. It's been a couple of years since I've been able to successfully grow them. Except I saw squash bugs in my garden yesterday, and they're the nasty people things that will suck the stuff out of the plants, all that. So the rest of it, I put it in my hands. Because I can't.
So when you keep it now, since you popped it up, where's that?
Kitchen counter.
so you're not gonna have to be in the dark or something.
No, it's right, we're ready to go. I mean, I'll like, probably cut it.
So there.
Mike did cut, he did take his first 2 pears off of his pear tree, this was his first year. And then we had cherries this year earlier.
And then my blackberries are done, darn it. I was gonna make this pizza with blackberry and goat cheese, honey.
But
Uh,
yeah, I know, I saved the recipe. We might get
What kind of crust would that be, like?
a regular crust. I don't make my crust, I just get a pre-made crust that I make all my pizzas. We have them all.
They're actually really fun to make.
Yeah, and they're easy, they're super easy unless you get really high, get really complicated.
Yeah, sometimes I'll make my own cauliflower crust or just get full wheat.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That would help, even if the toppings aren't healthy, it feels less greasy.
Yes, it is.
It feels much better to me.
It usually is less greasy, but yeah.
Here's a picture of stalls. Makes work. If you blender stuff, you just make it all on the blender. It was easy and fun. You have to eat it right away, you know.
Yeah.
It'll only stay for about a week. So.
See anybody coming on yet? Oh, Matt's coming on. Good deal. Get going. We've got 5 more minutes. Okay, you all had homework for this morning from last week, along with the reading of today's material. So we'll talk about the homework here just for a minute, because I know some of you were doing your homework and it makes my heart happy. So that's a great thing. Does.
Maybe my.
Okay.
Sorry, teacher.
Okay, we're gonna,
But that's no use.
I'm not used to our staff huddle being done so early. I'm just like rushing in here and throwing everything up. Like, how? I'm doing that. 10 minutes, like hours in my role.
I love, it drives me crazy when I'm like running about how to be smart, at least 10 to 15 minutes
Oh,
early.
And which that one. I am, once I get here, the mornings are hard for me. I don't know, I find all these chores to do, to get up early enough, and then I exercise, and then go out. Right now, I'm doctor the horse, and I kind of infection, so,
I feel like if it doesn't get much done in the morning, for me, it's a good time.
yeah. Well, when I get home, I'm usually just,
Yeah, me too.
I'm just poop, or sometimes like last night, I did take a break and go outside and do some stuff, fill the bird feeder, and mess with the horse and stuff. Then I came back and read the material for today, reread it, while I was watching Olympics. I'm also, thank you. I'm also painting my half bath up, no, my whole bath upstairs. I started on Saturday. Yeah, it was a seashell for many years. It was like a seashell theme with blue walls and stuff for my daughter when she was younger.
Yeah.
And I decided to roll that down, so, taped it and did the cut-ins. And then got a coat on Sunday, and then last night, after I did horse and before the homework, I put another coat on, yeah, I should have gotten paint primer. And I thought I got the Valspar and it was expensive. Was gonna be 3 coats.
You just never know, depending on colors trying to cover.
So it's not even that,
No,
it's not even a dark
Blue, it's a light kind of aqua blue and not even, it's actually textured, or I put lines in it with a tool. So it had a back color and then the light blue. So it shouldn't have been like, I don't know, it does look good this morning, but one more coat.
there.
Yeah, and I have guests this weekend, my cousin, my goddaughter and her daughter. On their way back from, started in Colorado and they're going back home to Ohio, so they're gonna stop at our house. Okay, well, I'm gonna get started a little early because so many of you are here early. And this is a great week to be here and participating because we're talking about like the most important thing in the whole wide world, prospecting. But before we dive into prospecting, we're gonna go back to last week, and can anyone remind me, what was your homework from last week? Not to read, yes, to read the materials for today. However, what was it? There were two things I said to go do. What were they?
Good testimonials.
Get testimonials.
Why is this unique?
Unique value proposition. So your UVP, your unique value proposition. And that's a fancy, hard to say phrase for how will you explain to a consumer in 1 or 2 sentences, maybe 3, what it would be like working with you? What's your level of customer service? What's your expertise? All of that. So how many of you did testimonials? Yay, love that. I saw Serenity posting on social media, so good job. Where did you get your testimonial?
Well, I had some from Facebook, and then I had like a maybe future person that had experience with over the weekend. They had given me some just like verbal, stuff, and then I just I just took all that.
Awesome. Awesome, love that. So some of them were not from real estate.
Yeah, some of them were just other things, because I mean, I don't have anything.
Exactly, exactly. Well, the reason I said that, Serenity, is because I know some people still have it stuck in their head. Well, if it's not about real estate, then how can that be valid? Thomas, you got 2 testimonials. Where did they come from? Who gave those to you?
Well, so, one is well, 2 of them couples, they're both couples, but, one of the couples is down in Florida. Well, so both of them are people that I used to work with, they just love my dependability. Team, you know, they like, if he's gonna be on the team, you got a good person to the team.
Wow. See, from his previous lives, people knew, because is dependability important in this new career? Yeah. Working as a team, is that important in this new career? Yeah. Jocelyn, where'd you get your testimonials?
My friend, named Jocelyn.
Perfect.
She actually used to work with me when we did nails together.
Okay.
I had her I want something done when I focus only on it. I become like obsessed with it, even though I can procrastinate often. At the end of the day, I'll make it happen. Good with people, conversation.
Good with people. Detail oriented, and you'll get it done. I love that. I love that. Anybody online, did you get testimonials, and who'd you get them from? And just give me one. Ryan, you were shaking your head. Yes. Did you get somebody?
I did. It's long. It's a long one, but it was from one of my coworkers at Zoom who was our trainer. And she said, Ryan was always a joy to work with. Customers frequently requested to work with him again on repeat events. They love his positive attitude, creativity, and knowledge of the platform. He used his skills to make sure that all details of an event were executed precisely as the customer wanted. He made suggestions to customers to adjust in efficiency and the ease of delivery with content and event activities. With all these combined skills, it's no surprise that we had many repeat customers that were always satisfied with the results after working with him. So
that
nice.
Is beautiful. That
I
is
know.
beautiful.
I read it, I read it to my wife, and she's like, how's it make you feel? I was like, that feels good. That's fine.
Good.
Well, dear, that's good.
Well, sometimes you're gonna be surprised at what someone's gonna say about you. We're usually our harshest critic, are we not?
Agreed.
We usually beat on ourselves more than almost anybody else will. And thus it is rewarding to know other people think highly of us. Anybody else get a testimonial? Doug,
Well, it wasn't written in.
okay,
This is part of my life, so to speak, and I just need this part. I'm a licensed plumber.
uh-huh,
Okay, so when my dad passed, I was with Truman Medical Center plumbing. And I was doing this one particular job and I had, I wouldn't leave. They wanted to make me leave, go home, go to your family. I said, I can't, I gotta finish this job.
Hmm,
It was almost done, it's just I had to finish it.
right,
Because in my brain, I had gone over my life and knowing this job is not finished.
mm-hmm,
And that would felt. So then another situation where like I cut grass inside. And my brother always told me, there's a blade of grass, there's a blade of grass, because you know how particular I am.
ah, you're so particular,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut the grass to where it looks like a golf course.
oh, wow,
Football field.
okay, like a golf course, I love it.
He knows that if it's a couple of blades of grass or something, it's out of sorts, I can't fix it.
So that's what I love. So Doug, both of those, it is about, you're the type of person who gets it done. And you're particular about the end result. Yeah, go ahead.
But
One more.
this friend of mine, he just told me, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, he said, how smart I am. I'm not. But, I'm looking at him, he's talking about. Because in my lifetime, my mom heard me, that's maybe twice,
Hmm.
maybe 2 times. I give 3, just to say, but I really don't make twice. And he just telling me, and it's something I didn't know, or I didn't see.
You didn't see in yourself when somebody said to you, hey, you're smart, Doug.
It never came out to me.
Yeah.
For this lifetime.
Yeah.
Then he said it maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm
That's so nice. See, people surprise us with what they think of us. Sometimes we think they're gonna think critically about us the way we think about ourselves. And that's usually not the case. They'll be like, I think you're great at that. And you might think, I suck at this, or I'm not good enough, right? So, okay. So I really appreciate you all sharing that. I love that you all got testimonials. And then who has their unique value proposition and they would like to read it?
What?
Your unique value proposition. Remember, it's how do you describe? So if you don't have it written down, then I want you to verbally tell me, Thomas, what is it like to work with you?
Again, I know that I'm a team player and whatever we do to get this stuff done, just like the building.
See, he took those things from the testimonial. I want you to work on elaborating that and bringing that together, but that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to be able to say. What is the experience of working with you? Serenity, what would you say is your unique value proposition?
Honestly, I'm sure I'm just overthinking it, but, I'm just very like timely and working with somebody, like I wanna know their opinion. I wanna do a partnership, I want both of us to have the will, just good at like communicating with them and ensuring that they're getting what they want out of this relationship.
Yeah, I want that down in writing. I want you to say, my communications and we're gonna partner together to get this done. So I will keep you abreast because of my good communications. You'll know what's going on all the time. Does that make sense? See how she can take that and make that. So I mean this when I say write this down, because if you don't start internalizing and able to say like on the dime, like as if I pressed your button and you say, this is the experience of working with me. Okay. Jocelyn?
I try to be like efficient.
Make it as easy as possible for everyone. So stress-free working with me will be almost a stress-free experience because I get things done. I remember what your friend was saying about you. Go out of your way to make things happen. Okay, I love that. See why you need to write this down? Because you have the ideas in your head. Doug, what is the experience of working with you?
Well, I just really wanted to look good. I wanted to work, I wanted to look good, so when I do things for people, it's like, I'm not satisfied until I know it's working for me, or I know it's looking good for me.
I'm not satisfied unless you're satisfied.
Right. That's it.
Write that down.
Thank you.
Seriously, seriously. I'm not satisfied unless you're satisfied. I want this to be a great experience for you. Anyone online with a unique value proposition? Holding out on me.
I mean, I'll
Holding out
go. I'll
Okay,
go.
yes.
Very I have that client motivation and experience focused. And what I lack maybe in real estate knowledge, I'll make up for in the experience with the client. And making it as the ease of access, as easy as possible, but getting them from point A to point B.
Love it. So your client experience will be
What I
one of
might lack in, years of experience in real estate, I make up for in my focus on the client's motivation and getting them exactly what they want.
Love it. Okay, so can you see why you need to write this down? Because you guys have the thoughts. You just need to polish those thoughts and make them more succinct. So you can easily say that. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Okay, let's jump into our material. And thank you for doing your homework. Whoop, whoop. Love it, love it. That's what this is about, is getting things done. Let's go into the PowerPoint. Here's our slideshow. And get a cooking, get a cooking. Laura made it. I saw her in her car and now she's here. Okay, so what are we gonna do this week? Remember, this week is all about prospecting. So we're gonna look at the lead gen puzzle. We're gonna look at prospecting, the critical puzzle piece. We're gonna look at the 3 steps to prospecting, the 3 ways to connect with people, overcoming a limiting mindset. And I know we all have one. Some of ours will be very similar. Some of the things we're hung up on will be very similar, and some will be unique to you. Crafting and setting a daily routine. It's actually building the habit of a daily routine, tracking and accountability, and then putting it all together at the end. So I'm going to get started because always on Tuesdays, we have a shorter time frame. Will you please scan that you are here? And there's a bit.ly link if you are on your phone at home and you cannot scan the QR code, then just type in the bit.ly link. This class is lead gen prospecting. Lead gen prospecting. If you'll do this, this would be great. I love seeing, this is how we track. Remember on your 30, 60, 90 checklist, it actually, part of what is your responsibility is getting the training in. And this is one of the ways that we know that you've been at training. Now, if you watch the video later, you can scan this or you can make comments. I like you making comments throughout the video anyway, if that's how you're getting your training in and also checking in. So it's okay. I know Alicia has been watching videos like nobody's business. I see her, she was on there a lot this weekend. So kudos to her she can't always be online or part of this during the day. So kudos to her for knocking out her training. I love that. Okay. Ground rules: arrive on time, be fully present, respect every time and participation. Respect different learning styles. Some of you are going to get things quickly. Some of you will have to go over it again, and that's okay. Help each other and have fun. Okay. Introduction. Here we are. We're right here. See, we're starting from the bottom because we're building a foundation and a solid structure for our business on how to get business. So we are right here at prospecting today. Yeah. So why are you here? I want to read or go over a story in here, because I want everybody's reaction. So on page 10 of your materials, course materials, you're gonna see a story of Bill Watson from Phoenix, Arizona. And he's been in the business since 1993, and here is his daily schedule. He does 5 to 7 hours a day to prospecting. Probably like, whoa. Here's his perfect day. From 7 to 8, he calls expired and canceled listings. From 8 to 9, he does administrative work and lead follow-up. From 9 to 10, he calls for sale by owners. From 10 to 12, he knocks on doors. From 12 to 1, he does have lunch. From 1 to 2, he calls back expired listings and returns phone calls. And from 2 to 3, he's out door knocking again. After 3 p.m. is when he schedules his appointments with clients and prospective clients. And he sold 30 houses in his first year. I can't stress it enough that your business will grow as fast as you go. Meaning time that you spend on growing your business. Mary Beth Schwartz in this office. You guys have heard me talk about Mary Beth. Anybody remember about how many houses she sold in her first year? Over 42, 43 houses. And nothing in the first 6 months, nothing, zip. But her level of activity, having coffee and meeting with, I mean, she would say, does this sound familiar, Angel? When you talk to people you know, who do you know that I need to know? As a small business owner, who do you know that I need to know? Be it a vendor, be another small business owner, be somebody who needs to buy or sell a house. She did such activity that that's what got her this explosion in the second half of her first year. So it is all up to you though. That's the one thing, we can't make you guys go out and do the work, right? We can't. Sometimes I want to. Sometimes I threaten getting a cattle prod. Just go do. I won't. But this is what builds a business. He averages 8 transactions a month. And with that level of work that Bill does, no market shift is gonna hurt his business. Where market shift, and if you read the material yesterday or whenever you read the material for today, you'll see a theme of you got to keep doing it to get the effect. And you've got to do enough of it so that no market can mess with you. It'll mess a little bit, but not as much as if you only do a little bit. Let's talk about the lead gen puzzle. Woot! But there's a puzzle. Well, the lead gen puzzle is this. Lead generation requires both prospecting plus marketing. We're going to talk about what's the difference and why you have to be very clear on what the difference is. Prospecting is seeking leads. Marketing is attracting leads. Prospecting is seeking leads. That means you're going out to people. You're reaching out. You're proactive, right? Marketing is you hope you get their attention and they come to you. Which do you think is more effective? Prospecting. 100%. 100%. That's what a lot of this focus is on. That when you do your prospecting and marketing together, it's going to go to Habit Mets and Mature Habit Mets. Who are those?
People you really want.
Yeah, the people you meet in an open house, the people you meet at social gatherings, people you meet door knocking. They're people you didn't have in here in your phone before.
Don't have their contact information.
Yeah, and we need them because we want to turn them into relationships, right? And so you turn them into Mets, see? You apply that, turn them into Mets. And what you should be able to cultivate and convert them to appointments if they have a housing need. It's a coordinated plan. Think of that. Prospecting and marketing is a coordinated plan. My 20%, this is Brad Puffer, 20%, my 20% is prospecting. Do I stack marketing on top of that? Absolutely. Think of your marketing as the reinforcement and what helped you. Prospecting is a contact sport. Contact sport. To get in this business, number one, you need to be a really proactive person, not a reactive person. Get the leads rather than wait for them to come to you. I've seen it before. Somebody says, I put out my announcement. And they just wait because they're just sure business is going to come to them. Well, you're going to go hungry. You might get lucky, but most people aren't going to really 100% think of you as an agent or believe that you're an agent until they see it in a repetitive manner. So it's when prospecting is a contact sport because it's personal. You have to contact and connect with people. And there's ways to do that and ways to have marketing do that because marketings can attract leads. It can. But marketing is passive activity. Prospecting is active activity. And passive marketing is not only passive, it's indirect. And it's most likely more expensive. So all of you maybe don't have a big marketing budget. Does anybody have a marketing budget for their real estate business?
I started doing like $100, but then my husband's like, I want you in production, so now I have to figure out $100, which honestly irritated me. So now I have to go do showings, but it's kind of like helps me get out there.
Yeah.
So, and like now I have to do it myself and it can't be used for fun things.
Okay. I love that. So Serenity had $100 budget for marketing and her husband challenged her on that. And now she's got to go out and do more prospecting. And here in the beginning, let's be honest, that's what you need to do the most of. And then there is marketing you can do that's free. So that's the beautiful thing is there is such cost-effective ways to do marketing with social media. It's not even funny. I didn't have that choice. If I wanted to market, it cost me money, mailing money or advertising money. Had no choice. So that's where you have to think of that. But it's the mix of the two is what builds a strong lead gen system. And that's what you need is a very strong lead gen system. Here's what a MET is. Here's the definition of a MET. And it's in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. So if you read the red book, you're going to know what this definition is. Are defined to be those people you have met, gained contact information for, and put in a contact tracking system. Haven't mets are the rest of the public you've not yet contacted or turned into mets. I say haven't mets are actually, you have contacted them, otherwise you wouldn't have had any contact information from them. I think it's better to say, who do you have a relationship with on some level and who don't you yet? That's the way I think of haven't met. I go into my magical thinking saying, someday you may be mine. Right? And that's why in this business, I want you to be, and this is what Gary Keller just pounds into us for good reason. You want to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Especially in the beginning when you all just told me you didn't have marketing budgets. And Serenity did, now she doesn't. You want me to talk to your husband? So you have to, as new agents, depend on prospecting more because you don't have the marketing budgets. Even though I said you can do some marketing very cost effectively. So it's very important. And here's an example of how the two of them marry so well, prospecting and marketing. In our materials on page 16, it talks about Gene Rivers. Gene Rivers he's one of my most favorite Keller Williams University instructors. He comes occasionally to Kansas City and teaches on different topics, and he's amazing. I love him so much. He's got this dry sense of humor. He's no nonsense, but the value he brings every time he teaches is phenomenal. This is actually one of his favorite courses. And he would do a combination of prospecting with marketing, and he'd do a mail call C. He would mail something, let's say he was farming. He would mail something to the farm. Then he would call them and be do not call compliant. And then he would go knock on doors and see them. And this is where your marketing should give you a reason to follow up. So that's why if you're going to send marketing to a farm, to a neighborhood, then it's got to be a message on that marketing that gives a reason for you to follow up. Hey, did you get my postcard about home equity? Isn't it crazy the percentage of people who have an average of, what was it? The average person is like 350,000. The average homeowner has an average of $350,000 in home equity in the United States. It's crazy talk. Crazy good. Crazy good. Do you think that might get somebody's attention? Yes. And might that be a great reason to follow up and see if they have a question? Well, I wonder what mine is. It could be more, or maybe not quite that much. So you've got to have it so they all go together. If you're just doing a mailing and then you don't have any follow-up to it, you're just going for the lucky factor, and it's a pretty expensive lucky factor you're going for. Especially in the beginning when you don't have money. So can you farm a neighborhood without mailing? Yeah, you just knock on doors and leave your materials. You can do that.
How do you bridge the ones that say like no solicitation?
Then you don't.
Then you just don't.
I will, it depends.
Cause I live
a lot
in
of-
a neighborhood, so I have approached some of the ones I personally know, I haven't. And most of them are okay with me because I live in the
Right.
neighborhood.
Well, you're not selling them anything. I mean, if we were to debate it, we are seeing if they have a need for a service. We're not selling them a product, like, you know, buy my house cleaner, my carpet cleaner, right?
Yeah.
That was quite a thing for many years.
Yes.
Buy my carpet cleaner.
Yes.
It's a miracle. And you buy it and it's not a miracle. What they used was, but what you got wasn't. It's like watered down something. However, those people put that no solicitation on the door for a reason. They don't want you knocking.
You don't need to leave a flyer.
I've done that. I just, it depends, depends on the vibe I get. But yes, you could leave a flyer, but when they put that on there, they're asking you not to knock.
They'll call you from that number you left. Damn it, no.
Yeah, well, no, they will, because you're leaving information and they'll say, you could have a special flyer or postcard for the no solicitations, due to your new no solicitation, I just wanted to leave this information. If it's of value or if you have questions, let me know. So you're acknowledging that you know they didn't want you to knock on their door, but and you still left it, but recognizing you didn't knock on the door. You know what I mean? Because some of them might think, well, didn't they see the no solicitation? So I think you could do a special little piece and have that with your other postcards. I like postcards instead of flyers. They're easier to leave. Now you can roll. I mean, I'm the queen of door knocking. So many of you might not know, but in my prior life, one of the things I did was run for political office. I know, crazy, crazy. My last semester of law school, I ran for House of Representatives in the state of Kansas. I knocked on over 4,000 doors. I'm good at door knocking. Was I on day one? No. The first door I went to, I was like, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. Because I didn't know what to say. I wasn't prepared. I'd done all this preparation for my campaign and getting my signs and my logo and all of that and my precinct maps and all of that. I had a notebook that had a map of every precinct, and every day I, in red, marked out what I walked every day. So I could see how much more of that precinct that I had to walk. And I got better and better and better with time. I realized my first week I had 5 blisters because I wore cute shoes.
Yeah.
I wanted to be cute. And then I said, forget the cute. And it was before I got nursing shoes. Boy, are those cute.
So, so realistically, with the climate that we are in today, is it safe for us to go door knocking, or do you do it with the door, like?
It's always best to do it with someone. When I was in politics, I usually had a volunteer, but they couldn't keep up with me. I had one little gentleman, he was the cutest thing ever. He just passed this year, Vernon. He said, I'll help you. And he was so worn out. He goes, Kristen, what else can I do? Because I can't keep up with you. There's no way. Because I had an agenda. I knew after doing it for a while, I knew how many doors I could get to in a day or in the block of time. I mean, I literally would come home from law school and go out the door. And then I'd come back and do my postcards of, it was great to meet you, or sorry, I missed you. And if it was, and then I'd write a little note because my postcard was in my handwriting. And then I used a pen that looked similar to write the note. Oh, your flowers are gorgeous. Oh my gosh, your flower bed's out the wall. I really enjoyed meeting your puppy. I would do that and send those that night. So that's where you have to have a system. I had a system of follow-up, so I knew what I was doing at all times, but it made it so much more impactful when they got something from me. So they usually get a mailing from me before I go walk those neighborhoods.
You would send out a mailing and then you would go door knock and then you'd send a follow-up.
Mhm. Very much like Gene Rivers did. I didn't do a lot of calling because I didn't always have phone numbers, and that took too much time, to be honest. If I had phone numbers today and I knew they were do not call compliant, I'd be doing something like slide broadcast or something that I could record a message, a voice message, and send it to multitudes of people. Because I was knocking so many doors, you could do 30 to 50 easily in an hour, depending on the neighborhood. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I have the hardest calves after work. Wow, I need to go back walking.
Is there a better time to do that?
Used to be that, no, anymore, people's schedules are all over. There is no perfect time. Just go do it. When we start overthinking, because most of the people will not be home no matter what time of day, or they won't answer. You'll hear people in there. I had a woman answer in a towel. I'm like, and safety. I only had one instance door knocking between politics and real estate where the hair went on the back of my neck. The guy was asking me, it was really hot, and he said, you can come in and get a drink. I got a soda or something. No, thanks. I even fibbed and said, I didn't have a volunteer that day with me. I said, oh, I have to meet my volunteer at the end of the block. Because it just, it was, and he didn't say anything weird, just trust your intuition, trust your intuition. So yes, going with someone, and if you don't feel safe, then don't door knock. I don't want you to do something that you're not comfortable with, that you don't feel safe doing. There's other things we can do. Door knocking is amazing and wonderful. It's not for everyone, just like none of these forms of Legion is for everyone. It's not. And then if you look at page 17 and Nikki Ubaldini, she's another Keller Williams University instructor who's phenomenal. I'm so fortunate. I've seen a lot of these people that you're reading these little stories. I've seen them in person. I've gotten to experience them live. So I get all excited when I see them. And she sells on average 200 homes or more, and her business is a balance of prospecting and marketing. You have to do all the activities. Not one is the magic pill. I wish I could tell you, oh, go do this. It's the magic pill. There is no magic pill. It's a combination. It's a cumulative effect. I wish that open houses were the only thing I'd have to do to build my business. It was very impactful for my business, but I had to do other things. You're going to too. And then in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, even if you lead gen through marketing, you'll need a prospecting program to drive those people to you. Lead gen is powerful and is purposeful and is a coordinated act. So prospecting is purposeful. You know what you're going out and doing. And the marketing complements your prospecting. But the emphasis is on prospecting. Because, like I said, prospecting reinforces your marketing and marketing supports your prospecting. They complement each other and they make your lead generation for your business very strong. It's the best foundation you can have. Because prospecting is easier when led by marketing. Like I said, if you can do some marketing ahead of going knocking on doors or calling your people. So my announcement. If you look at my announcement strategy, the 7 steps to announcing your new business, it's based on marketing principles. And it is about the first step in that marketing announcement is just doing a headliner. Like just hey, I got my real estate license. And then you follow that up with a letter or email that says, hey, I just told you I'm an agent. Here's how I can help you. Because if we don't tell them how we can help them, a lot of them don't know, oh, great. So Serenity got her license, great. I don't think she can help me in Cleveland, Ohio. Guess what? Yes, you can. You can help them find a really good agent there. They don't know that. They have not a clue. So it's totally up to us to be able to educate them. And that's why that letter educates them. And then you follow up with a text or a phone call and say, hey, did you get my announcement? I'm pretty excited, but I'm scared to death. I like humor with mine. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. Whatever the reaction is. And you have that conversation. And then you follow up after that conversation. Or if you didn't get to talk with them, you follow up with a handwritten note saying, hey, it was so great to follow up with or to catch up with you and hear about that wonderful vacation you took this summer. Or I'm so sorry I missed you. I'm dying to catch up with you. Give me a buzz. Text me. Whatever. Those are the things you need to do because that's what helps. And then marketing helps validate you. Makes you look a little bit more real. So you go prospecting, you say, hey, I'm an agent in your neighborhood if you're farming. to habit and strangers. And then your marketing helps, it's kind of like, well, it's kind of like they're gonna, especially if you do a lot of social media. Don't you feel like you know some people on social media better than you really do? Seriously, that you, because you see that there are some people, there are agents in Keller Williams that I feel like I know a lot better than I do. I've only met them like once at family reunion, but I know their dog, I know they love to hike, I know they do marathons, I know, because I feel like I know her. They feel that way too. So the marketing can increase that connectivity and make you more valid when you're doing your prospecting. Does that make sense?
That when she's all like, I mean, we don't know each other that well.
Ah,
I think she's well.
I love that. Laura was just sharing that she has a client right now that she didn't know all that well, but she was seeing all of Laura's social media posts about real estate and reached out to her. That's perfect. You will be surprised at the people that reach out to you to do business with you. I'll give you an example. One of our new agents, she's an experienced, successful agent in this office. But when she was new, she sent out an announcement to everybody she knew, all her former coworkers and everything, even to someone who she fired. And guess who reached out to her? That woman that she fired and said, I'd like you to help me buy a house. Who would have thunk? Well, one, that speaks volumes to how professional and well she let that person go. To me, that speaks volumes because most people that you fired will never want to see or talk to you ever again, right? But this person reached out to her after seeing that she was in real estate. And the agent was shocked. She was like, I can't believe it. I fired her. I'm like, wow, that's a new one on me. I haven't heard that before. So that's where it's so important. People will feel like they know you. Let's talk about cost versus time and effort. I'm really counting on the difference between prospect and marketing because I see people who think that I can just market and my business will come to me. Well, it'll take you longer and cost you a lot more money to do that. You know, mass mailings, we don't get that many in our mailboxes, our snail mailboxes anymore. But do you remember, like, you get catalogs and I love catalogs. I love them. I only get them during the holidays. And I'm like, it's kind of my relaxation at night. I'll just dream. I turn down pages. I never buy this stuff, but I turn down pages of things I would like to buy. It's just, it's entertainment for me. But we used to get a ton of mass mailings. Well, you have during election cycle. I know that. My mailbox, I've been putting everything in the trash. But there's a ton of it. And the reason, why do you think companies would send you, like during the holidays, there's certain companies that send me more than one catalog during the holiday season. I might get 6 from them. Why do you think that is? I threw out the first 4. Yeah. Or I didn't have time, or I wasn't serious about my holiday shopping yet, or what have you. It's because they're going for, if we stay in front of her enough, or any consumer, that when it comes time that she has to go get gifts, and there's a chance we might get her. Same with you all. You have to have repetitive messaging. So people are thinking about you in real estate. And that's where it can be impactful. So remember, cost-wise, what's more effective? What costs you the least amount of money? Prospecting. And then time and effort, what costs you more time and effort? Prospecting. So you can see marketing may be unaffordable for you right now, but you can put in the time and effort. And it is not a waste of time and effort. Don't think that that maximum is a negative. It's actually going to help you grow your business better and more effectively and faster than if you tried to do this all in marketing. When you do mass marketing, what is a success return rate percentage wise? So if you did a mailing to a farming and you didn't do any other activity, what would be a successful return on that? What percent? Yeah, 3 to 5% is a really good return rate. So when those companies do mass mailings, they're only looking for a 3 to 5% turnover return. 3 to 5%. But they've looked at the cost and it's worth the cost for the return. Make sense? That's what you always have to be aware of. So I want you to look at yourself and let's do this exercise of, I want you thinking, and this is something I want you to bring for Thursday. I want you to say, how much time are you going to devote to prospecting? I want to hear how many hours, minutes, daily, weekly, monthly, annually are you going to put into prospecting? And then what kind of money are you going to spend? Maybe it's $50. I don't know. This is in page 20 of your course material. That is your homework for Thursday. Now let's fly through a couple of myths. So I want to make sure, you know, we're always talking about the myths because so many people have the wrong idea or limiting beliefs when they get in this business about prospecting. So many people think prospecting means cold calls, which means people are going to not be nice to me or tell me no. But the truth is prospecting is meeting people and building purposeful business relationships, which equals a strong real estate business. It's all about connecting with people. I don't care how you do it. We're going to show you specific ways to do it, but you might get creative and think I'm going to the dog park. Do you know, I saw a family reunion 2 years ago, I think it was, a woman interviewed who, that's where she got most of her businesses, from the dog park. And it was going so well that she went twice a day instead of once a day with her dog. For her, that was her thing, and it worked. It worked. So you got to find out what may work with you. Myth number 2, prospecting means contacting people you don't know. Yeah, but it also means contacting people you do know. Actually, all of you should start here unless you don't have many people in here. If you don't have many people in your contacts, that's okay. Then you've just got to talk to more people you don't know to build relationships with them. And don't feel like, well, I'm not from Kansas City. I don't know anybody. I'm at a disadvantage to someone who grew up here. Yes and no. Because you can have all these people in here, and if you don't ever talk to them, you're not going to get business, right? So don't assume that just because somebody grew up in Kansas City, that they've got an edge over you. It's not. The database is going to make a difference unless you work it. If they work their database at a very high level, then yeah. Myth number 3, prospecting is what you do to launch your business. Only new agents have to prospect. What? No, prospecting is what you do to keep your real estate business running and growing. You should never stop prospecting. The day you do is the day you're boarding up your business, because you're not going to have business in the future. What we do today, we're doing for the future. When you have a closing, it was based on nothing you really did that day. It was based on the activity and the conversations and the relationships that you built before that. So don't think, oh, I've got a transaction right now, I'm good. What do you have after that? What's in your pipeline? Is it empty? That scares me. Gotta have somebody in there thinking about real estate. Prospecting statistics. Okay, this is from NAR. Did you know that 22% of sellers have an agent, or they end up using the same agent? Buyers, only 12% have a go-to agent, or they're gonna use their agent before.
That's crazy. I love that.
It's crazy.
I don't have an agency.
They don't, because you know what? They may know an agent, but that agent hasn't talked to them in months.
Yeah.
Or years. So the reason this number right here is so impactful, it should be so encouraging to you as a new agent that there's opportunity. And the reason those numbers are so low is because most agents are really bad at follow-up and keeping a relationship alive. They close a transaction and move on to the next and say, bye, see ya. And they don't check on them. And you think that's crazy. Why would they do that? Well, they get busy. And they don't have a good follow-up system, so they don't stay in touch with people. That should never happen in your world. All your past clients you should be touching them. They should at least get they should hear from you 3 times a month. Either in an email, a mailing, a call, a text, something, 3 times a month. So look at this, how people choose an agent. They use an agent who contacted them or they met like at an open house. So 4% of people who don't have an agent, that's how they find you. That's how they get their agent. Where do the majority of people get their agent? Referrals. Referred to them by a friend, relative, neighbor, coworker. 40% for buyers, 38% for sellers. So when someone in your database says to you, Thomas, I'm never moving. Thanks, I'm never moving. And you think, oh, take them off my list. Because that's how I felt the first time someone said that to me. I didn't realize I could still be of value to them and that they had other people around them in their life that might have a real estate need. And I didn't know how to have that discussion or that conversation with them because I'd never been taught that. And so I just said, okay, thanks. And I took them off my emails. Like, dang. I look back and I'm like, dang, I didn't know. I didn't show how I could still be of value to him. And then people use the same agent. And truly, most of that is almost, I'd say 80% of that is because the agent didn't stay in good, regular communication with them. Wow, that looks kind of easy, doesn't it? Couldn't you stay in touch with someone? Well, you've got to be purposeful about it. You definitely have to be purposeful about it. Okay, we're almost to the end. Yeah, you contact people you don't know. You contact people you know and ask them to refer you. You contact past clients and ask them for repeat business or referrals. Those statistics are so much in your favor. That should just encourage the heck out of all of you. Remember, prospecting is inexpensive. It yields immediate results, or can. It's most likely to put you in control of filling your pipeline of leads. You've got to be in control of having your pipeline full. Don't go on the lucky factor that they're going to come to me. Increase your confidence and skill. The more you prospect, the better you get at it. Did you read the example in here about the clay pots that are in the MREA? So there was this experiment. There was a group that they were told make the perfect clay pot and just work on one clay pot. And then there was the group who were to do a lot of clay pots to come up with the perfect one. And guess who had more skill and confidence at the end of the day? The ones that did more because they got to practice it and get better and better and better. Whereas the ones that just focused on one clay pot, they didn't get necessarily better. And that's how you are. You're getting better. Yield quantity leads, which yield quality leads. I want you to get to the point that you have so many people in your database or in your pipeline that when somebody pops up and wants to do business with you and you think they're a hot mess and you don't want to, and there are red flags all over the place that you shouldn't do business with them, that you can pass them by nicely. But when you're new and you don't have enough leads, you're gonna work with that person because you want the money and you need the business. I get it. I worked with people I should have not have. I did fire someone, one of my very first listings. I fired, and he was a former coworker, but he went crazy on me. He lost his mind. I was like, yeah, he blamed me for the house not selling, even though I was cleaning jam off of the door frames and doors in his house of his 4 little children under 10. And the house was a mess, and his poor wife was trying to hold everything down while he was already had moved to the new job. So she's yelling at him, he's yelling at me. And I said, I don't think I'm the agent for you. And then keeps you in direct contact with the market and protects against market shifts. Because if you're out there talking to people about what they're thinking about and buying and selling, you're going to know what's going on in the market. You're going to have a good feel of what consumer sentiment is. If you're not out there talking to people, you're not going to know. Okay, so you're going to have 2 pieces of homework. I want you to do the time and money one, and then I want you to do this one on page 30 of your materials. And I want you to recap the benefits of prospecting. I just gave them to you, but from your perspective, okay? And then I will see you guys on Thursday. And if you haven't finished reading the materials, read the materials and do those 2 pieces of homework. I will repost them on the Facebook page, what the homework is to remind you. All right? Any ahas as we wrap up? Got a lot of good stuff? Yes? Okay, viewers at home, did you get some good stuff?
Got some great
Always.
stuff. Thank you.
Yes, this was awesome.
Yes.
Saying you guys have money to make money, but you have to do things for yourself.
Serenity says, the old saying, you have to have money to make money, not necessarily in our world. We're very fortunate that we can do this just with effort and time, which not very many business owners can do. So we're very, very fortunate. Take advantage of that. Okay, time for the business meeting. So drop off of this Zoom if you're at home and get on the office Facebook page, and we will see you later. Bye.